Okay. So we've all seen the immensely large clouds wisp up from a crowd or out of the window of a passing car. Vaping. It's all the rage. Fairly new and spreading like wildfire. They were originally sold on the internet, but today you can find them all across America in every city and state. But not much is really known about what they are or the possible health effects that they can have on somebody's health. Today I'm going to go over the subject of what they are, their popularity, and how they can affect a person's health. First, let's talk about what they are. I was fortunate enough to gain most of my insight on e-cigarettes by working in a vape shop. Now, I'm going to refer to them as an ENDS, and you may ask me what an ENDS system is. Well, ENDS stands for Electronic Nicotine Delivery System, but they're usually referred to as an e-cigarette or vape. They usually consist of things like the battery, which is used to power the e-cigarette, the atomizer, which is used to heat the e-liquid into a vapor, the cartridge or tank, which is used to hold the liquid in the vape, the mouthpiece, which allows the user to safely inhale the liquid, and a liquid, which is more commonly referred to as a juice. The juice typically contains nicotines, flavorings, and other additives such as propylene glycol or vegetable glycerin. E-cigarettes first came about back in 1936 when a man named Herbert Gilbert first invented what he called the Faber cigarette. But it didn't really get much recognition until about 20 years later when a man named Han Lick invented what he called the e-cigarette, which more resembles what we know today. There are hundreds of different brands. There are hundreds of different brands of e-cigarettes, and they can range from looking like your traditional tobacco cigarette to looking like something out of a scientific sci-fi movie. Now that I've given you a little bit of background information on e-cigarettes, let's talk about their popularity, especially among today's youth. According to an article from ScienceNews.org titled "With Easy e-cig Access, Teen Vaping Up," by 2015, nearly 3 times the number of school students were using e-cigarettes rather than smoking. And according to the 2015 Monitoring the Future study, about 9.5% of American 8th graders, 14% of American 10th graders, and 16.2% of American 12th graders used e-cigarettes in the past 30 days. And here's another little known fact. E-cigarettes are actually illegal for youth to purchase. On the FDA's website, there are a list of rules and regulations surrounding ENDS systems. These include the fact that people selling e-cigarettes must ID anybody under the age of 27 attempting to buy an ENDS system, and they are completely prohibited from selling it to anyone under the age of 18, minors. But some doctors will actually use e-cigarettes as a suggestion for people to quit smoking regular tobacco products and using dip. And more people are switching to them every single day. But just because they're safer than regular cigarettes does not mean that they're 100% safe for you. Now we can touch on the subject of the effects that they can have on a person's body. Many teens and adults believe that they can have little to no harmful effects on a person. Their arguments usually consist of the ingredients in my juice are all natural, or there's no nicotine in my juice, so there's nothing harmful going into my body, when in actuality, these statements aren't true. While yes, they are a safer alternative to regular tobacco products, that doesn't mean that they are safe for you. Juices usually contain harmful ingredients. The most widely known harmful ingredient is nicotine, which is extremely harmful to youth. According to a report done by the U.S. Surgeon General titled "Know the Risks of E-Cigs for Young People," expressed that the part of the brain that is responsible for decision-making and impulse control is not yet fully developed in adolescence. So the use of nicotine in youth can have long-lasting, long-term effects on developing brains. Younger people are also more at risk of having nicotine addiction, mood disorders, and a permanent lowering of impulse control. The U.S. Surgeon General also warns that even though the ingredients used in juices are normally not harmful to humans, when inhaled in the lungs, it can actually have hazardous effects. Inhaling vapor in the lungs causes a condition more people usually refer to with cigarette smoking called smoker's cough. Smoker's cough happens when a vapor develops a persistent cough that lasts longer than a few weeks. It's really annoying and can cause a person to always seem like they're sick. Not very many people like being around people who have smoker's cough. And according to Iona Jaspers, a researcher at the University of North Carolina at Chapel Hill, cells that are exposed to vape are less likely to heal infection than cells that are not exposed to vape. And on the FDA's website again, there are laws that will go into effect in 2018. These laws consist of that e-cigarettes will no longer be allowed to be sold without the same health labels that go on traditional tobacco products as today, and they will not be allowed to be advertised without those same advertisements. Does it seem like they're much healthier for you now? We have explored what ENDS are, their popularity, and the possible health effects that they can have on a person's body. I encourage everybody to research ENDS on their own and to learn more about them, because just because they're perceived as being safer does not mean that they're 100% safe for you.
Is it the square or the two lines?
Square, 2 lines.